We should be live. It's working.
Live.
Yay.
Good evening to all. First, we're going to have a budget amendment hearing. So I'm going to call that to order. We'll get this ball rolling. Roll call
Jennifer Schultz,
here.
Mike Hayes, Jennifer Watkins,
Here.
Tom Powell, here, Chris Hunt, here.
Okay, any discussion about this? That's on you.
So we are amending the 2025 budget because of spending authority. We can't exceed the budget from year to year. Last year, at the end of the year, Butler County or Towanda Fire Rescue became Butler County Fire District number 11. To transfer all those cash assets over to them, we couldn't exceed that spending authority because it's going from one entity to another. So the only thing that we lacked was $55,420. So we want to amend the budget to increase fire rescue expenditures for 2025 to 55,420. Also, in 2024, our our city trash rates, or our cost of the trash rates, increased enough that it would have caused us to exceed our spending authority if we had made the end of year transfer. So every year we transfer excess cash from refuse or the trash into the general fund, and we've done that every year. I think this year was, or last year, I think it was supposed to be 24,000 transferred from trash revenue into general fund. So since we kind of come up right to the end of our spending authority, we couldn't do that. So to transfer that money this year, I'd like to increase the total spending authority for refuse to 197,060 dollars. So it's not a big increase at all, but it would just let us transfer. It could have been transferred last year, this year.
Okay,
Well, that's it.
that's it. You guys have any questions about that? Issues? Nothing. Fire department needs their money. What I hear. Okay, so we need a roll call for vote.
Roll call vote. So we need a motion to adopt the
Don't we do that by roll call? We do that by roll call, yay or nay?
well, I think we probably need a motion to accept the budget as amended.
I'll make a motion to accept the budget as amended for 2025.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
So we have to do a roll call vote. So Jennifer Watkins,
Yes.
Tom Powell,
Yes.
and Chris Hunt.
Yes.
Okay.
So they all did it, regardless on the motion even. Okay,
So-
then we'll sign.
Yeah, so I need you to sign your name and your vote. So Jennifer Watkins, yes. Yeah, I think you get signed too, but you don't get to.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Once they're finished signing, we'll adjourn, move on to the regular council meeting. We all good? Okie dokie. Thank you all. We'll adjourn the budget hearing and move into the regular council meeting. So again, call to order and again, roll call.
Jennifer Schultz,
Here.
Mike Hayes, Jennifer Watkins,
Here.
Tom Powell.
Here.
And Chris Hunt.
Okay, the consent agenda includes all of the, what?
I'm sorry, we want to put Kit on.
Oh, we gotta put Kit on first. Where are you, Kit? Hey, there you are. I about forgot you again. How many meetings in a row? Okay, so we have a new council member that is going to join us tonight. Kit, who's put a lot of time in, a lot of volunteer hours, is I don't know how many meetings you missed, but it doesn't seem like very many. So you kind of know what's up. 5. So seemed like the logical thing to do. So we are welcoming Kit to our council tonight. And we've got a little oath affirmation of office that we'll need you to read. So come on up,
Come on down.
swear your time and money and everything you've got away to us.
I made it in
Two
big print.
cats and a bum.
That'll work. We'll just take 2 cats though. We don't need all
Okay.
3. Not all 3.
Do I read this out loud?
You
Yeah.
sure do.
Okay. I do solemnly, sincerely and truly declare and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Kansas, faithfully discharge the duties of Towanda City Council member under the pains and penalties of perjury. And implement to hurt myself.
There you go.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Welcome. Thank you. 3/12. 2025. That's big and official right there.
Yeah.
So you know how this all rolls. That's what's nice. Is we don't have to teach you a lot. So you may. Oh, I got it. You sign or I sign? You sign that. Okay. Have a seat over there
Oh, and
and welcome.
to save me a trip, would you stand your nameplate up there?
Oh yeah. You're face down.
It just fits in there. This is a test.
This
there
is
you go.
it, yeah. You passed. Yay. All right. Thank you, Ken. So for this, answer or ask, stop the meeting, ask questions so you're clear.
Mhm.
We'll work with you. Okay. Did Andy give you your books yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you're well versed right now? For now?
I know what it looks like.
Am I going right here?
Yes.
Okay. So it's just uphill from now.
Just let me throw this out there, Jennifer and Chris, I need your signatures after the council meeting, whenever.
Okay, well, we'll
It's
see about it.
nothing important.
We'll see about it.
I feel like we should question this.
I feel like we should too. Okay. So everyone welcome Kit.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
Giving it time. You know what that's like, Dave. What are you doing here anyway? Oh, okay. Well, I'll just stay out of your business. Maybe. All right, moving on. Consent agenda. It includes all of the minutes, the claims, the sheriff's department, all of it. You guys have any
2 months.
questions? 2 months of it. Do you have any questions or things that you want to discuss? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Looking fast.
Oh, looking fast.
So the agenda should not have changed at all from, January. Um,
Nor did anything happen. So,
right.
shouldn't be too tough.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
There we go. All in favor? Carries. What we got? 4-0. Alrighty. Old business. So we do no scheduled presentation speakers. Nobody. Does
Nope.
anybody have anything to say? Okay. Nothing? Okay, I'll sign. And then let's go to old business and keep moving. The water system problem ongoing.
Yes. So, system update. So we got a grant from the Kansas Water Office for $390,900, and that's for design fees. That is for our engineering designs for for the water system, yeah, it's 2 months,
Okay,
January 1 February. We are going to have a kickoff meeting with JEO, March 26th at 6:30 PM right here. And if enough people show up and we think it's going to be a full house, we're going to move it to the community building. So tentatively, it's going to be here.
you said 6:30.
6:30.
Okay,
6:30.
got it.
Okay. So there's a lot of thought that's going to go into the design. Our engineers give us an initial few options, several options. Some of them were pretty extensive and some of them were more stripped down. Then we'll have plenty of discussion, the time to discuss options and what we can do as a city and what how we could do and all that. So it's going to take some doing. We're still waiting on the Kansas Water Office to give us a date as to when we're going to receive funds for this, but we're rolling with JEO in the interim. Another discussion is how to pay for what money we need to pay for. And we're looking at $180,000, $190,000 worth of sales tax revenue. And that's all also dependent on whether the city would vote to do that, which would be a huge help, because if we don't do that with sales tax, the money's got to come from somewhere. We haven't got a grant for rebuilding the water infrastructure, and it's going to be long-term anywhere between $1 and say $4 million. So that's not something that we can pay for with our general budget. I hate to see people, but it's got to come from someplace. So hopefully we can get that sales tax passed. At the same time, our existing sales tax is going to expire, I think, at the end of 2027, I think, or at the end of 2026. I've got to clarify that it was a 10-year sales tax. So we've also got to discuss how to address that, because that also works to keep property tax down for the city, because it goes to pay for a lot of things that the city needs. So that's another discussion. I have started the process for the Kansas State Revolving Loan Fund. That once the pre-application is sent in, which I will do that tomorrow, that process goes in step by step. So we submit the pre-application. So we submit the application to apply. And then from there, they approve our ability to apply in June. And then we can apply. And that application is due by October. Once that is approved, we may not receive the funds until 2027, or the loan proceeds. It is also, as I understand it, is funded by the EPA. So if there's disruptions there, I don't know what that's going to entail. So we've got to plan for the future in our design and all that. I think we should design it so that it's as simple as possible. Keep the cost down, because we don't know what's coming. So that's basically the update on that for the water system problem. That's where we are. So, but he's out there, come to the water system design kickoff meeting March 26th at 6:30 p.m. City Hall.
Okay. More to come.
More to come.
Now to the empty lot.
So the empty lot downtown, where the gas station was, we are waiting on KDHE Kansas Department of Health and Environment. And actually they are moving on it. They just sent the scope of work to the engineers, so the engineers know what they want. I was under the impression that the KDHE was going to have the engineering company remove the dirt and we were going to have to put it back in. And I got concerned because we don't have a good way to put the dirt back in and pack it. After talking to the engineering company and KDHE, they both said, no, we're doing that. Because they have the ability to put the dirt back in and pack it sufficiently. He said, we'll pack it well enough you can build on it. So fortunately, we don't have to do that. And the KDHE has the reserve set aside for these projects specifically. Is to address all these old tanks that were taken out and remedy these locations. One option that we could do after they get all the dirt out and the dirt put back in, one option that we could do is just concrete the whole thing over. And then if we're going to turn it into a community space, an event space, then we can add elements as we go. And we can go for grants and things for parks and recreation as we go. So that's an option. I am gathering cost estimates for what it would cost to just concrete the whole thing. And fortunately, Dave Wogemuth is donating that. We're going to call it the Wogemuth Park.
Well, that's so generous.
Yeah, well,
Nice of you.
that was a joke. He's here in the audience. So, but we're just looking at options right now. And what I would like to do is maybe the next month, or when we're getting closer to knowing when KDHE is going to move on it, we have a workshop and talk about options and cost figures and that kind of thing.
I feel like that's a route we need to take, is have a workshop first, make some decisions. Because laying concrete down and then having to put water lines or anything else under it seems,
Well, I think we would put water lines and electrical in various places so that we would, before we do the concrete.
okay, but you know what I'm saying? If we have a
Yeah.
plan, we'll know
Yeah.
a little more. That way we can actually move on that.
Correct.
So certainly sitting there growing weeds is not ideal.
Right.
But we are gonna have to figure out something. And I would say real soon versus our normal discussion of we'll talk about it and see what happens and try to work on it, and then months go by. So I'd love to see some plans of some sort.
So once you find out, Andy, once you find out kind of when that's gonna be, if they're 4, 5, 6 months out, let's just have the guys go over, level it and put some grass down and let it grow.
That's what the plan is. So they've been kind of slowly working at smoothing it out because it's a mud hole.
Okay.
I had them fill in where the concrete was removed, so we didn't have a new swimming pool there. And then once it stabilizes, then they're going to go put a ryegrass mix.
It's fairly cheap, so.
Yeah. And then also, I've had questions about the soil there, whether it's contaminated or not. Well, the new soil we put on top obviously is not. However, when they take the soil out of the ground, they literally take it to somebody's pasture and spread it out. About 6 inches deep at most, and let it off gas. And then they go basically rototill it twice, let it off gas, and within 6 months to a year, it's clean soil. So letting the air get to it and letting the gas vapors escape is perfectly safe after that.
Trees work well too.
Yeah. So they can pull the nutrients out and
Did we get the contractor back over there and dealt with all the damage or whatever happened?
so the contractor has plans to fix
Whatever.
what needs to be fixed. And as far as the concrete goes, I mean, we can't do a whole lot with that until KDHE gets the dirt out. But if we're going to do a concrete slab, we would go probably from building to building. And it'll be rectified that way too. Also, just to clarify, I should have, and I did not, I didn't even think about it, but I should have had it surveyed, before we pull all this out. So, JEO I think they were in town this week or maybe next week. Then I'm gonna have it surveyed and all the pins located.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. So moving on that, so there might be progress, but we do need to try to come up with a plan.
Slow.
Always. It's okay. All right. Moving on, zoning codes.
Yeah, the building downtown.
Yes.
Yeah. Lisa, you wanna talk about that?
Lisa, say where are all where's all that? Sure.
I have been in contact with Foster and Associates regarding the updating of the zoning codes and I've sent them all the ordinances since 1997 that affect our zoning code that they'll need to consider. They kind of needed to know how much work was involved before they could give me a timeline as to how long this is going to take. I've sent them some other notes of other issues we've had and updates that we've done. So we're still going forward on that one. Do you have any questions on updating the zoning code?
Well, and let me just say the next bullet point there is, we've always talked about, we need to go for grants, we need to go after grants. Well, we're going after grants. For the first time ever, we're going after grants. And one of them Lisa's worked on, and that is the Building Resilient Infrastructure and Communities Grant. And we're hoping that that will cover the cost of this and potentially, new, building code costs.
We completed the application for that, yesterday, Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so, but we got notified that it's like, hey, we just need, essentially, it's kind of like we've been pre-approved for it. Well, they just need us to fill in all the rest of it.
Well, we hope.
Yeah,
Yeah,
again,
again,
We have been pre-approved. to
pre-approved to apply,
apply.
right?
Yes, and
Yeah.
so we have applied.
Okay. So I do have a question on that. Is that we'll find out costs and timeline and all of that when they report back to you?
Cost wise, they had given us a ballpark, you're gonna have to help me with that.
4,500.
4,500
Okay.
was the cost.
I wasn't sure that number had been thrown out or not. That's what I was wondering.
And then the total grant, potentially, and the grant's through FEMA, so we'll see. But the grant but if you throw building code compliance in there also, it's about 5,600.
Okay.
We'll get something towards all that. Yes.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you.
The next item right underneath it, I have some input on that too, which, talks about the Main Street building. The one down by Gambino's where the front, had collapsed, during some construction.
And let me
Go
just say, just for record,
Yeah.
owners here with us today.
Yes. Yeah, Mr. Jones was here this evening. Our city engineer worked with him and we worked with his architect at shoring up the building to make it safe at this point until further drawings could be furnished as to what their plan for rebuilding is. I do not have any more information on that. If Mr. Jones has some that wants to share, we might. Do you have anything you want to share on your building?
Yeah, so we're working with JEO right now and a contractor. They're working together on that, finalize that deal, try to come up with a plan.
Okay. So we're
Yes, and Brad,
Brett,
yeah, we visited Brad last Saturday night. We met at night and that Saturday. He gathered a bunch of information. And all this information is going to be compiled together. We're going to come up with a plan for the restructuring, make it safe.
Right.
And I have Gene's plan here. After that accident,
Okay, is this my copy?
Okay, thank you.
So we're going forward on it, and in the meantime, we have it stabilized.
Yes, it's stabilized.
Okay.
So that's the update on the building. I believe that's all I have at this moment. Unless you have some questions.
No one?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving right along. New business. Library. Did you get? Oh, here we go. Quentin's here.
Yeah.
Hi, stranger.
Hello.
How's it-
So then I'm the director of the library. Not the director. I am the president of the library. Was the board. One thing is, today, I got some quotes to Andy. 3 quotes for, the HVAC. The HVAC's been there since the building's been built. It just, needs upgraded. Since it's old refrigerant, and she can't get no more. So, I got 3 quotes, and you bring those quotes, Andy.
Oh, yes, yes.
One was from Don's Heating and Air, the other one was from, a local guy here. And, then the other one was Hannah out of Andover.
So it looks like each one of them gave you 2 quotes, or
Yeah.
2 options.
Yes, 2 options, for each. And then, they were gonna build a bigger box so the filter could be a lot bigger instead of those skinny ones. So it would be, there's 3-month filters instead of the skinny 1-month filters. There's 2 units in that library. And they're 2-ton units. So. And then,
Everyone got 2 quotes.
so.
Yeah, so they're in here. They're looking
No,
at
they are.
the where it says,
Who's being seen?
Yes.
Cheating here.
And they're on the ground. They're not on
Yeah,
the concrete slab
serious.
or anything, so they just need.
He said they're.
Wondering if,
So that's
the
He
city
bought,
would like to build
right?
These are all
concrete
well,
Then
Oh,
it
box,
these are
so that way.
B and C.
Instead of the
Oh, fine.
concrete, the ground, so
Oh, yeah.
that way it won't rust out
Yeah, weird.
and
Hey,
everything,
Andy.
so.
We're missing one.
Andy, I think we're missing a quote.
Okay, you've got,
And,
We got Hannah,
Yeah.
then BNC, and then Dawn again on the back page.
We're missing Hannah.
Okay. Hold on just a second. Hannah, do you have this page?
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's,
says Dawn.
That's Dawn's.
oh, it's Dawn's.
Right. And it's the exact same money as the one on the back.
At the top.
Oh, okay, let me run and get Hannah's. Did you send me Hannah's?
yes, well, you, the engineer, the quote came to you.
Oh,
And then you sent it to me.
Right. Be around,
Because I wasn't there that day.
be around.
You, discuss, with the city leaders about agreements that come up with areas instead of two guns.
I did, and, they brought in,
Figure out.
they did their estimates.
Some things on that lot.
Okay, for that area, for both areas on that side. I did ask them about 3 times, and they said by that time, little space where the heaters and all that are in.
Yeah.
They
For what?
2 times.
That tree?
Okay.
Lots of trees,
Oh, plants.
lots of trees, that's some shade. Great place for trees, get lots of sun. Shade for that lot. Something that grows fast, you know. Taking some-
Something. Something. in there. There were a couple of benches, shade tree.
That's the plans 20 years ago.
Right?
You missed that opportunity.
Did you speak to any of these folks who came out? Do you have any
Yes,
preference?
Don, the heating mayor, came out. I like their work. I've had them work at other places and I did like, they do quality work. And then Hannah, they do quality work. I mean, they put things in the city's areas. So, and the local boss guy, I haven't seen his work.
His bid looks pretty good.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so,
Seen a lot of his work and
yeah,
it's good at what he does.
so,
Is he?
yes.
So I'm assuming the price on these is for per unit,
Yes,
not for 2 units.
yes.
Why, thank you, sir.
So they recommend 2 times units, for the library. It is a 60,000 BTU unit for a year inside. So,
So am I reading this right?
That's per unit.
per unit.
Per unit.
Times or two.
So times.
These are, okay, I'm like, wait, ordinary.
Yeah.
Well, I
That's
thought,
not right.
Comes out for, well, about 13,676 for the good unit
Yeah,
and 14-ish for the better.
the better one. Yeah.
So. We talked earlier, the current units are sitting on the ground.
Yes,
Yeah.
they need to be up off the ground.
Mhm.
If, I didn't know if the city or the maintenance crew could build a box, concrete
Sure.
pad, just to get them off the ground.
Yeah,
They won't rust through.
yeah.
Uh,
So I think back there on the back side of that, we've had a chronic problem of dirt settling.
off and-
Yes.
Yes.
So, yeah, they can build platforms to,
Yeah, to sit them on.
right.
It's just longevity, for that, to have them on concrete. It'd be better off for that.
Yeah, real jumpers.
Because you're not sucking in all that dirt
Right.
off the ground and into your unit, off those fins. So, and they're on the backside of the library. So. W Reynolds. I mean,
So-
he tried to pull numbers off of them and they could barely pull numbers off. So, but
So in the capital improvement fund, we have a little over 80,000 right now.
okay. So it's really about, these other two bids are so close.
yes,
And it's about equipment. And are these apples for apples? I mean, it's gonna take me a second to break them down, but
yes.
it looks to me like one includes or 2 thermostats, the other one's saying that it just depends on the thermostat. You get a programmable one for more. I mean, you
Yeah.
guys are gonna have to kind of,
It's, to be honest, programmable would be good during the days that they're not going to be there.
yeah,
So that way it'd be efficient. That's my thoughts. Because you really don't want it to keep on going and waste while they're not there. And occupied. Don't need to be full blast on your.
It just needs to maintain.
Yes, yes, and they're efficient. Most of them are more efficient now, so that way it's better off.
you know,
So this B and C looks like this one, they're moving the air conditioner around like you were talking about, but I
Mhm.
don't see that written anywhere on it.
I don't
Right.
either. It looks to me like the local guy's gonna do a lot more for the buck, but I don't know his equipment. It says Goodman Equipment has a 1-year warranty versus the Rudd has, I guess it depends on the part on the unit, compressor, evaporator coil, heat exchanger. Some of that's gonna be, let's hope to not worry about, but they do come into play.
Yes, they do. They do.
Or the C rating, they're both rated. The good, better, they're both on this one, it's the same thing.
Yeah,
What was Hannah's brand there?
it says Rudd Equipment. I don't know.
Oh, that's-
3-ton system replacement proposal.
Yeah.
That's Hannah?
Uh-huh. And then this guy's got Goodman. So I'm not versed enough on these. I know Ream. I mean, I know cool ones, but I don't know the. However, I do like the. It looks to me like he's doing a lot of labor here.
Yeah.
And he's local. I mean,
And that's what I would, and it'd be better off. I mean, especially local.
yeah. You guys have,
Probably take up the phone and give him a call.
Yeah.
Where is that?
huh?
Please, I know where it is.
You do? Okay. What do you guys think? You have any questions you want? We'll probably need to make a move on this so they can get moving before it goes kaput on them and no one will go in the library.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to push the library forward and trying to, that seems like they've got a lot of different activities coming up.
Yeah.
They got a lot of plans.
And-
I see
yeah,
them
and-
together.
I got,
Oh, we just, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I got something on that. February, we had 11 books in the library, interlocal. So that means, so if we don't got the book in the library, we got 180 places that we can see that book. We got colleges, we got, libraries, extra libraries, everywhere. And if we don't got that book in the library, we can search all the 180 and get that book and you can have it to loan out. We had 11 books, loaned out. Then, we also had 88 people come through the door at the library in February. We had, including 20 people for our first jigsaw puzzle race by the, Friends of the Library, put that on.
Way to
they
go,
had a
Jan.
whole-
Yes,
They enjoyed that. I mean,
Looked busy.
I was sad.
that was
Yeah.
fun. And we're gonna try to do that again because that was a good hit. So that way other people wanted to do it. So it's like, hey, let's put it on again sometime. And then, we had our author, the local author, come over
Mhm.
and we had, 19 people come in. And in March, we had 65 people come through the doors. 20 new books were added to the library, 6 new members, and were added with cards. And then in February, I should say, 4 new members and 10 new books. So we are going forward.
And
So,
a new director,
yeah, new director,
a fully established board.
yes, established board.
So kick 'em butt.
Yeah, book clubs.
Yes.
Book clubs, that's good.
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 Going.
Great to hear.
And, we've got summer reading program coming up, just to let you guys know. Easter egg hunt is coming up for the library. Then we're going to also have, coloring pages, crowns for children to come in. We're gonna try to get them at school time, after school time, come in, get them books. There's tables in there. One thing is the students, need a place to be. We're going to have tables set up so that way they can come in and do their homework. So, and we got a lot of references, so we're trying to go from there, so.
Awesome.
The, Butler Gazette did an excellent story on, article on Alicia.
Yes,
Sweet.
all that.
So,
Get a little public knowledge or acknowledgement. That's nice.
We're going forward. No, so.
And also, on the city maintenance part, we talked about the new heating and air conditioning system being more energy efficient. We replaced all the lights in here in City Hall with LED. We just pulled the ballast out and direct wired them, and it substantially cut our electric bill. Now we're doing the same thing at the library. There are 33 lights.
In the library. So the children's side still needs lights, but I mean, that's ongoing process. So yeah, I'm very thankful for that. It's a lot brighter than that. So
That helps.
yes. Yes.
Outside lighting,
We're working on that.
working on that.
I think we had one electrician stop by and talk to Alicia.
She's working hard.
Good.
We're cleaning up the mess, but we're going forward. So
That's what we like to hear. All right, so let's make some decisions on this. Let's talk about the heating and air so we can get it going. Are you guys good with going with the local guy? You like what he has to offer?
Like so. I'll do it.
Quentin? You have anything?
I like Hannah. He's given the best, warranty on the compressors.
Hannah's not the guy we're talking local though. You're saying you like Hannah besides the local guy.
Yeah.
Where's the compressor? Oh, the warranty on the labor and the
Yeah.
Goodman that comes with a warranty, which would be their manufacturer's warranty, which we don't have in front of us.
The other ones, I don't see anything on the warranty on the compressor. In 10 years, pretty good.
All of these will come with the manufacturer's warranty.
Yeah.
We don't know them though.
That's 10-year old.
yeah, I think Dawn's heating air is a 10-year process.
That's pretty good. Industry standard, usually.
Yeah,
There's a,
so it won't be any different on that kit.
Okay.
He just has it written down,
Yeah.
you know.
down here it does say 1 year warranty on
That's on labor.
labor.
That's typical.
Okay.
It says the Goodman equipment comes with a warranty. We can figure it out if it's low, we can change, but why don't we do well, no, let's just pick it and get it going. Why make it complicated? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve DNC heating and air conditioning to come in and figure out change out the air conditioners.
Which price point are you looking at?
You going at the 15,
Yeah,
the better?
I think I'll go with the better. So that we can spend up to $15,786.91 and for an air conditioner, for 2 air conditioners on the library.
That covers the.
And heaters, I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Heating combo.
I second it.
Second by Kit, all in favor? Carries 4-0. Okay.
Do you, want to coordinate that?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And get his warranty.
Yeah.
Kit wants it.
Yes.
Okay. Bobby Boy said it best.
What's that?
Nothing.
Oh.
I'm making references that don't need to be made.
No,
Okay.
I see what you're saying.
Are you with me?
I was talking about that one, but yeah, I know, I'm with you now.
Okay. Where are we at? New library director. You updated us on that. Thank you. We need a check signer.
So Stetson Dively here, wave your hand, Stetson. He's our new treasurer, and actually he's gonna do very well. He's already, he's not a check signer yet because I forgot when we voted to have him as treasurer, I forgot to have you make him a check signer. So,
We didn't know.
yeah, so Paul's been filling out as check signer. So we need to make him, authorize him to sign checks, at Vintage Bank.
Okay, that'll require a motion. Someone, please.
Make a motion to make, Stetson Dively a check signer for City of Tawanda.
I'll second it.
Second by Chris, all in favor? Carries 4-0. Done? You need more? Did you want more?
No,
Okay. And who's misspelling my name lately? Is that you? I would say you're in trouble if so. I'm teasing. There's no Z on it.
It's me.
I signed my name wrong.
Did I?
No, I'm teasing.
Yeah, okay.
It is wrong.
Oh, you said, oh,
No, you have it wrong, and then I was looking at it.
and you spelled it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bank interest rate.
Bank interest rates. So this is exciting. I was approached by another bank in Wichita, and I've heard of another bank in Wichita doing the same thing. And instead of just paying us a little piddly interest rate, what Vintage Bank has been paying us on our account, they will match the municipal investment pool rate. So as cities, we can't invest our monies like individuals can, because we can't take risks with the public tax dollars or public funds. But the state does have a municipal investment pool that cities can put their money into, and it is invested in different, I don't know exactly how it's all invested in CDs, but it's more stable assets. That rate is right now, Monday, it was 3.02%, which doesn't sound like much, but on our bank account, we have we have an average balance of $1 million. So every month we have about up and down a little over $1 million in the bank. It was more when we had fire department, but anyway. So as a comparison, right now on our checking account, Vintage Bank is paying us $1,800 for the year. If we get it at 3%, that's $30,000. So that's a huge difference. So I talked to Vintage Bank about it, and I said, this is what other people are doing. And they said, well, let us see what we can do. And they came back and they said, we'll do the same thing. So Vintage Bank is going to match the municipal interest rate if we want them to.
Huh. I wish they'd have come to us about that. Would have been nice.
Yeah. So in front of you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Can they do a little better?
Yeah.
Retro, please.
Yeah. So and actually, so this is something new for banks. It's really not. It's a new program that several of these regional banks are getting into. That program is called an IntraFi. It's an independent from the banks, but with Vintage Bank, we're just going to do it in-house. So we don't have to move money. We don't have to open new accounts. Everything works exactly as it is. But
Good find.
right. So this is the agreement offering that the Vintage Bank is offering us. Basically, they will match the rate equal to the overnight Kansas municipal investment pool rate, and set that on the first business day of every week. So right now it's been running between 3% and 3.2, or up to 3.5 ish. So that's huge. No, we're not gonna let you in on the deal. Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I say we get this moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, what they're wanting is just approval from the board to do this agreement, and it's a 1-year agreement. So every year we'll have to
Every year we
renew it.
remember, so we don't lose 16,000 or
On the
whatever.
calendar, 30.
Yeah. Well, 30. Oh, you're right. I guess it was 30. When you said we had a baby amount. All right, doesn't matter. I'll entertain a motion for this. For our new way of doing banking.
Make a motion that we adopt this, okay, vintage interest rate instead of changing banks. Stay with the home bank.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carries 4-0.
So
Huh?
I can say it.
Who seconded
That's
that?
fine.
Chris.
Okay. Planning and zoning board, new appointment. We need to find somebody.
Yes, I am, here to ask if you would appoint to our planning and zoning board, Matt Martin. we're in need of another board member, and he has agreed to step up and take that position. So,
And so Matt Martin lives outside of town,
He does.
however,
yes, but he's within our 3 mile area that we have to have 2 members that live within the outside area in the township, Towanda, and he fulfills that.
Need, okay.
Yes.
Volunteer again. We took Kit away. Therefore, there's a vacancy. So yes, I would appoint Matt Martin, and we need council approval on that appointment.
yes.
And we'll need council approval on my appointment for Matt Martin for the vacant planning and zoning board. There we go.
Need a motion or just a vote?
Motion.
Make a motion to approve your appointment of Matt Martin to the planning and zoning.
Second. All in favor?
Aye. Cool.
Carries
Thank
4-0.
you.
I'm assuming that was the way to do it. Okay, and community building fee.
So this one also involves Lisa. It's Lisa's night tonight.
She's like, I just sat down.
So Lisa and her husband Melton have cleaned the community building for
21 years.
21 years.
Wow.
And basically they were paid $400 a month. Is that right?
Started $297, and then it went to $400 just in the last few years.
Like
But
2 years ago, I think.
rental has increased tremendously, especially during the holidays of the building.
Right. And so now Lisa's cleaning it by herself. That actually, like the lights and things, we don't expect her to do that. The maintenance crew does that.
Right.
But I'd like to increase it to $500 a month.
Oh, did the cleaning fee?
Huh?
Yeah, you need a motion for that?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to up the cleaning fee to $500. Second.
Second by Kit. All in favor?
Wow.
Carries 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa.
And just so you know, if Lisa, and we learned this when Lisa broke her hip, last year or year before? I think it was the year before. When she wasn't going in there, the community building started stinking. And did you know that she goes in there regularly and puts water down the floor traps or the floor drains to keep that from happening, because it's done that for 20 years, but you never smell it because she's been on it for 20 years.
How often do the coffee drinkers go in there, Lisa?
Hey, doesn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah. We're figuring it out.
Then we get into sewage. Thank you, Lisa, for all the extra. Hopefully that will help. Okay, on to the baseball flag football fields and lack of use now.
So this is just a discussion and try to start the discussion about what we're going to do with the ball fields now that Circle Rec has opted not to use them. So they're not even going to go out. They're not using flag football fields. They're not using anything out there. I did have one baseball league, independent league, I think it's a kids league, that asked if they could use them. So basically I said yes, but we may not put quite as much effort into, mowing and watering and all that stuff. We have had a sticker problem, so the guys are probably going to try to stay on top of that. But until we know what to do with them or what the plan is, we need to come up with some plan. We can the park down south. Number one, I can't find any place where it's officially named anything. So I mean, it's been called Lions Club. It's been called, or the Lions Park. It's been called the swimming pool park and the ball fields, but there's never been like an official naming. So maybe that's part of developing what we're going to do with it. But the Land Water Conservation Fund back in 1973, I believe, paid for half the price of the swimming pool. And at that time, half of the price of the swimming pool was $64,000.
Tell you, the swimming pool builders, they'll get you.
Today, a new swimming pool just like what we have, just for this pool, be about $5.5 million.
On paper, come on now.
Pool builders.
Go on, on paper.
But
So-
what I'm saying is that that park has to go on in perpetuity. That was the agreement for that grant that we got back then. And every year I have to sign a piece of paper saying, yes, the LWCF sign is still out there saying that this was a Land Water Conservation Fund. So I have talked to them when we were thinking about doing a new pool before we learned the costs. And they said, you need to apply because we have money. And I mean, and basically you have to keep the thing going. My point is, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but we have a high chance of getting a grant for half of whatever we do out there.
Which is still too much, but it's a
But-
really good thing.
It's a really good thing, but I mean, it could, and it doesn't have to be a swimming pool.
Yeah, it
It's
could
just
be
getting
other,
people outside.
Better part.
it could be
Do
other
you
stuff.
want
So
suggestions now, or are you gonna?
No, I think, well, that's another workshop.
we have a workshop, but Andy and I have, we've all been, of course, talking about it since the rec has backed out and wanting to use it. And we've talked about fishing pond, walking trails, expand the disc golf. I mean, a lot of things we could do for a very little money, a digger, some concrete, a digger. I mean, someone who can dig a good pond. A digger. That's what they're called.
That's a technical term over here.
I call them a digger. Give me a digger. Let's go. Anyway, there's a lot of things, but we do need to have a workshop so it can be something that the council agrees to and can maybe find a way to fund, whether it is the grant or it could be put in the budget. That doesn't seem like that big of a deal out there. I mean, it's not like erecting buildings and
Right. So make it a
is.
fun area for people to go to.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
And the disc golf could be expanded. It's small.
Yeah.
That may bring people more.
Yeah,
The fishing hole would be amazing.
There's one out there. Blue. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, smells a little. We could get Lisa cleaning that smell up.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, we've talked about some stuff. We'd like to talk about more. We have this to talk about and that to talk about now.
Is that gonna be in the same workshop?
We could bring our brainstorms,
Right.
brainstorming together. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was the reasoning the rec department didn't want to
money.
continue using?
Well, so you remember the worksheet that Andy presented and said, this is what it costs for us to let you use the grounds. They were not willing to pitch in any of their 1% sales tax, which that's fine. They're paying their person and
Absolutely.
they can use the school's facilities, which is what we've kind of said all along is Tawanda's really taken a hit resourcefully. All our resources are being used, our money's being used. One town took care of a lot of the rec's problems and they realized it. And now they get to go other places, which we welcome them to split the costs.
Right,
It just, they weren't interested in that.
even splitting it.
No, I thought it was a pretty good offer.
I think they're realizing that since now they have specific funds in their tax entity, all the rest of the tax entities are going, whoa,
Sorry.
you got your funds. We don't want
Right.
you to tax us and us pay.
Which that wasn't our thing. I mean, we offered to help years ago, did help all these years. It became a lot. It always was a lot. But when the volunteers stopped coming, i.e. the fire department, every place that doesn't have volunteers now, then it became on the city staff and the city staff was doing the work of the rec who didn't have the volunteers anymore. Plus the grounds need to be upkept and they were calling us, upset about the grounds not being kept up. Well, we had limited resources at that point too. Maintenance guys were coming and going. So it just kept going and going. And so,
We're not thinking about keeping them at all.
No, that's just part of the thought process.
yeah,
We know the ball fields,
What are we gonna,
moving on. Like, we're not wanting that as a city to keep them. We're
Oh.
looking,
not necessarily. I mean, it's
if
part
someone
of the
comes to
plan.
us and wants to
Well, I'm
pay
just
for
thinking
ball
about like
fields,
kids. I mean, we do have youth here.
They're all on either traveling club teams or rec, and rec
I
has,
don't know, just like normal kids trying to get out and do something and play. I mean, what do we
Yeah.
have outside?
well, that's what we're trying to create.
So
Yeah,
everyone knows baseball.
So there's what you bring to the workshop. Because we need to decide if it's worth keeping that. Because I mean, there's 3 up there now. 2, there used to be 3.
2.
I swear there was 2, or 3. There's 2 now. The big one and the little.
2 ball diamonds and a football field.
Okay. Yeah, Garrett's little, and that we need to decide what we're doing with, because that's not even part of the area that we're speaking of. That's just sitting up front with the,
Motocross track.
oh, there you go. So all kinds of good ideas.
Right.
Something for kids to do. So but if we do keep ball fields, we can come up with a plan to rent them out to independent clubs.
so
Donate them to independent clubs. I mean, there's a whole lot of things that we can come up with, but
yeah,
we want to be able to beautify and improve our parks.
we
right
can
now
set
they're-
them up so that, you know, they're locked and you have to reserve them. I mean, kind of like the community building.
That's that fun. I was one of those kids.
Yeah, kind of like that pool. So that fence around that pool too.
Cameras nowadays.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's one of the things we need to discuss now that we're not utilizing that. And there's a lot of good ideas. So again, workshop. Dump trailer.
So it's kind of a combination of thoughts, the dump trailer and the jetter. So on your, on this one right here. So that's our old sewer truck. And so we bought that truck years ago. The vacuum on the truck never did work. We basically bought it for the jetter. And the guys used the heck out of that over the years, and they basically used it up. To the point where it became dangerous. And how, I don't know, but I guess several years ago, it about knocked somebody's front tooth out. But anyway, so anymore it doesn't work, and they have fixed and fixed and fixed and fixed and fixed it. And so it has to have a reserve tank on it, and that reserve tank is leaking, rusted out. So there are just multiple issues on that. Since it's not working, we have to call Mayor Plumbing Specialties out of Goddard to have them come blast out lines, which we could have done ourselves had our jetter been working. A new truck like this, a brand new one, is like $250,000. So that's more than we can afford. What we're looking at is 2 points. Number one is the jetter. If we can do the jetter trailer, it's easier to get in and out and up and down these easements, and the easements are pretty tight. And actually, the guys have been working today, not our guys, but Griffin Construction, and they are replacing the sewer line between 9th and 10th, which has been a chronic spot. So basically, we are going through and updating that and making some design changes so that it should flow much better. They should be done with that tomorrow.
You talking about the dump trailer or the jetter?
The jetter. I'm talking about the jetter. Yeah, I did, but it's basically same idea. So the jetter. Did you have something you wanted to share with us?
No, it's part of my job to come say hi and sit in the council meeting.
Okay.
Okay, I was wondering if we would have got to you in a little bit, but it takes a minute.
Oh, no, that's okay. No, that's okay. I just have to go. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So the jetter is a pull behind jetter. I think I can't remember the size of it. But it can be a lot, it would be easier to use than something like what we had. We can get in and out of spaces. Right now, we're paying mayor to come do that and other, things, vacuuming out the sewer system. And every time we call mayor out, it's at least $12,000 to $2,500.
2,500 to 12,000 or,
1,200,
okay,
1,200 to 2,500.
okay,
Yes,
got it.
we've had a lot of numbers today.
Also say we needed vacuum almost always too.
Well, sometimes we need the vacuum, not as much anymore because the guys have been putting degreaser in the system and treating it that way. We've put too much degreaser in, and that's, another issue. But with the jetter, we will use much less degreaser. We get grease plugs in the system because some put the grease down the drain when they're cooking, and when you wash dishes, there's always grease on the plates and dishes and that kind of thing. But it builds up in a lot of spots, like when we do a 90-degree turn over here on Second Street in particular. If they don't treat that, or if they don't go and blast it, it will plug up, and when we got to have mayor come out and suck it out. We do have now we have the hydrovac, which we can do some of that ourselves without having to call mayor. What we're hoping is that the jetter we know that the jetter will blast out the lines that the guys have to do regularly. And then two, we're hoping that it will help stay on top of the grease problem that we have and all cities have. Also, they can use it to clean the lift station with.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's not a nice job.
You guys do anything with roof killer or anything down here?
Sometimes.
So the first one here, I see has where you put it in there. You put the roof killer and the chemical in.
Yes, so it has a chemical port, so we can do degreaser and root killer in there. You know, when somebody has a problem with their sewer line and they have a problem again and a problem again, to just make sure it's not on the main, we go through and we jet it. So just whether it needs to or not, we jet it. That way we know that it's not the main. And also, it's amazing what people put down the drain. They pulled volleyball nets out, bottles. They pulled over here at Jack Perry's Trailer Park. They pulled 7 T-shirts out of the sewer main.
How do you flush a T-shirt?
I don't know.
Not on, this type of plumbing, but
We'll do it in days.
Yes. What I think is they probably lifted a manhole and threw it in.
Sure.
So the other piece of that is the dump trailer. We're hoping that the dump trailer can help us to get rid of one of the dump trucks. We've got 2. If they use a dump truck to move dirt or move whatever, they've got to go out with the excavator, do the digging, and a lot of times they drive the excavator to the job site. And that takes one guy. It takes another guy to drive the truck, and then another guy to get whatever, just to dig a hole and move things out. With the dump trailer, they can load the excavator in the dump trailer, go do the job.
Talking about the mini? Or
Yes,
the
mini.
steer? Okay.
Yeah, no, the mini excavator.
So you're not getting you're
Yeah,
not getting a backhoe in there.
no, not the backhoe. The mini and the skid steer will fit. So we're hoping that with that we can get rid of one of the dump trucks.
What are you gonna pull this dump trailer with?
The Ford, the white truck that we have, either the white truck or the bucket truck will pull it too. Yeah. Yeah.
does it have the,
I don't know.
I wouldn't do the blue Chevy.
Oh, no, not the blue Chevy, no.
How could I have this stuff covered? Like during the winter time? We have a shed that you can put it in? Do we have to look forward to that, to making a judgment on that?
Yeah, I do think, well, for the jetter, yes.
The
we
jetter,
would.
but
Yes,
you can winterize it.
The dump trailer can sit outside.
yeah.
Dump trailer will obviously age quicker, so
Yeah.
but
So the jetter would have to be inside.
Do you have a place for that?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah. So, and that would take the place of the back truck that we had.
and if we get rid of the other dump truck, we can put that there. Does that have? You got
Hydraulics.
no the little ramp.
The Rams, yes.
Does that come with the ramps? I didn't see
Yes.
it.
It's on the back door.
It's okay. Oh, because ours has track things. You have to.
Underneath. This
Yeah.
underneath probably the same thing.
Okay,
You open the doors.
that's
there's-
actually a pretty good deal because we just shopped one of those. That's not a bad deal.
Yeah, it's not a bad price at all.
Now, I did make my own dump trailer. I would sell it to the city for half that price.
Just half.
How
big is it?
Oh, it's bigger than,
Bigger than that?
one
That's very big.
one caveat is that it doesn't work.
Oh, you have to do your own dumping.
No, yeah,
You got to lift it up.
I designed it and I didn't design it right.
Oh,
Yeah, design flaw.
gotcha.
So we use the dump trucks to treat the streets in the winter at all?
Yes. Yeah, they do have a salt spreader.
So if you eliminate one dump truck, is that gonna slow us down on treating streets?
Yeah, well, we only have one spreader to
Okay,
go in the dump trucks.
We're not getting rid of that one.
yeah, I have to keep that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to getting rid of one, let's try to keep that one.
And
Okay.
also, just for what it's worth, the guys have too much going on right now, and they're also trying to get past water and sewer certifications. The city of El Dorado is helping us get all of our guys CDL certified.
Sweet.
So once they get past the water and sewer, then they're going to go through that program.
Okay. Sounds good.
So we've got some different options for financing. Vintage Bank will do. I've got some rates here. Where did I put that? Oh, right here.
5.7%.
Terrible. Perfect. There's no money in the reserves?
There is, but there's not that much. In the reserves, we have. The equipment reserve, so we used up our equipment reserve last year on the bucket truck. Right now there's 21,670. And I am putting money in there monthly.
Okay. So tell us the savings again on this over the length of time. I like to hear that.
So we're already spending money to pay mayor to come out and do this.
Right, but do you have an amount that we're spending them on
It's
annual?
about between 6,000 and 8,000 a year
Okay.
that we're spending with mayor.
Why did I think 20?
Well, we were using a lot of degreaser. That was a training issue, and we rectified that, so that will not happen this year.
Okay.
Basically, we were using too much degreaser. There was no directives from the salespeople or, yeah. So my point is, we're hoping that we will have to use much less degreaser, no matter what, with the jetter, which will save costs.
Okay.
So that 20,000 is going to go away anyway.
The 20,000 will be a savings. So how, like in the priority level, where's this sit?
High, because the guys jet sewer lines regularly.
Well, I think the jetter is super important in my opinion.
Dump trucks and
I
all.
haven't talked myself into the dump trailer yet, and I mean, I understand what you're saying. I just haven't talked myself into it.
So the dump trailer is not a necessity. The jetter is a necessity. And they can be separated out. I mean, this is,
Well, for another 8,600, if we have two dump trucks, both are running, both are using, we're using them. I'm not in love with it either. If they're gonna come in at this price at any time, if we get the money saved up, we could use it, but right now, if we have to get a loan for it,
Yeah.
it seems crazy.
the dump trailer is a time savings
Yeah. I
Yeah.
understand that. You have, so,
and
Yes.
insurance savings,
I guess that's this. Do they have a car trailer over
kinda. Yeah, so that's another thing that we have been lacking. We have a trailer that the excavator kinda fits on.
there?
That's why they drive it to the place, because they don't like to get it on and off that car trailer.
I was just thinking, if you had a car trailer you could use for right now, you can put it behind the dump truck, haul it for right now, and then
Yeah.
save up money
Yeah, absolutely.
until, and I mean, I get not wanting to load something, I understand it. I've flipped a few of them, more than I want to talk about, but
If it fit, I think that's not the big issue.
is it a ramp issue on that one, or is it the,
No, I think it's just size issue.
it's tight? Okay.
So this is a threefold, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, the jetter is, in my opinion, a necessity, because we can't call mayor out every time we need to jet a sewer, and a lot of times that happens after hours, because everybody's home,
Yeah.
and the sewer is running fine during the day, but when everybody gets home, then we have plug ups, and then the guys are out, or two or three of them are out, after hours, which is overtime. And we're waiting on the truck from mayor. So we call them. If it's in the middle of the night, they got to get somebody out of bed. And then they got to get to the shop. And then they got to bring the truck.
So is this one you like? This,
The jetter.
yeah, the
Yes.
X50, I don't know what that's called.
Yeah, let's see.
We're gonna use up that reserve and then get the loan for the remainder.
We could do that.
It seems silly to borrow money if we have it sitting there. That's my
Yeah.
thought.
We're only in March.
We're
only in
I know, but
20 grand and get a lot.
I just hate that. I hate that way of thinking.
Hey, let me throw this out too.
This is government, that's right. I'm not at my business.
Right.
Yeah, but let me think. Let's say this too. We've got other equipment that needs attention.
Right.
And number one is the bucket truck. Bucket truck is great. They use the heck out of it. But we didn't realize that the new EPA emission control systems are problematic on all those trucks. Like it's a problem for all these fleet trucks like this. So we paid $23,000 for it. And then last year we had to pay $11,000 to get the DEF system rebuilt. And now the turbo is going out on it, and that's going to cost us another $6,000. So that's got to come out of that fund. So even though there's 20, what did I say, 26, 29,000, we still have to pull out money to get that.
You're gonna hate me, Mayor, but I just
I
said
got
we
you,
get
but-
the loan, and I mean, I can't talk myself into the dump trailer, but that's my opinion.
Well, I mean,
Well, you guys are here.
I understand the
Discuss.
I truly do, but
so the dump trailer is not something that's pressing.
right, come back in like July, maybe she'll like have it then.
Yeah,
Which jetter are they like?
Ken will know.
What's,
The 12 gallon per minute, 38 horsepower.
single axle, bigger one?
Well, I think it's a double axle. It was the same price, single or double.
So this one.
With the chemical load and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we couldn't see any price difference between single and double axle, and really, I think the double axle would distribute the weight better,
There's a
especially when the alleyways and the the easements are wet.
And I think they'll be able to back it up easier too, where they have to, why they have to back up. There's no going forward there, so.
Yeah. So you guys wanna just have more discussion on this? You want to,
I'm just thinking, like, if that's all we have in the equipment reserve, then
you wanna save it?
we're already hurting with all this stuff that needs.
Right.
Well, and also my, what I keep going back to is if we don't, we're gonna pay for
Right.
having it jetted out.
I don't love having a contractor come out to.
I don't
check it
either.
out Because they don't give a darn about any of our sewer lines. They don't care.
Nor prices.
Right, and I
I
mean,
mean, I'm not saying they're out to,
no,
yeah, but when you're calling people out in the middle of the night, it's worth something.
yeah, you're paying for
Yeah.
it. And like I
So
said,
they're doing a service and they're coming from
you
Goddard.
call you call, I'm just gonna use Ryland, just because of the first name. You call him at 10 o'clock, not he's gonna show up to go do it. Yeah, it's gonna be overtime, but you're not paying him what we're paying.
For a call out.
Right.
Yeah,
And he's
whatever
gonna
it
know
is.
what he's doing. He's gonna know the line. He's gonna
Yeah,
take
he's
care of
not
it.
standing there waiting on the
Clean it
truck
up.
to come.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but
Okay.
what is the split here? Cause we have, this is combined total, right? Purchase price, that's combined total for both, right?
Yeah,
So I'm sorry, Andy, but let's separate that out and then what we're looking at.
yeah.
Great. Prices are lower.
And also on both of these, or on any of these, there's no penalty to pay them off.
Am I looking at this correctly? Emprise has the best rate.
Yeah, I think so, yes.
That's what I was.
Yeah.
I do with that now.
It's,
So,
no, it's not good.
oh, I'm like, is it here? Okay. I know I have it.
Got so many papers.
Mine just talking about social as well, too.
Now you see it?
Oh, well, yeah, so are we, is one loan gonna cover both of those pieces of equipment?
Yeah,
That's how he had it.
that's how they had it, so.
So if one loan covers both of them, if we don't get one of them, and we have to go do another loan later, we're gonna have to pay that interest rate on just the one piece of equipment, right?
Yeah,
Instead of paying it all at one time.
Sure. You're gonna do all that no matter what.
We're playing for
Just
it.
whether or not we see a desired. Do you guys all agree that we need a new dump truck?
No.
That's the other thing.
trailer.
Trailer.
Yes.
Dump trailer.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yours.
I'm not 100% convinced that we
Okay.
need a dump trailer.
So I mean, we don't have to spend that. We can take this out.
No.
We don't have to spend that money. But the jetter, we'll try to get. Kit, what's your thought on it?
I like the jetter. I don't see a need right at this moment for the dump truck. Later this year, maybe.
Okay, so we don't have the dump
Yeah, it could be that,
trailer on
when
it.
we've got more cash in there and things settle down.
And we know about the bucket truck. We know about other stuff that's coming.
Right.
We can get at least midway through the year.
Another thing I'm thinking about is when you start talking about taking these kids through or this mini excavator up and down the road, they tear the heck out of these roads.
That is
That's
true
the other
too.
part that really started making me think is these tracks on these things, I mean, they're not easy on these roads.
Well, and
Well,
then,
every little turn,
Right.
they're gonna,
I
yeah.
mean,
so,
we tore up a road right out here with the fire truck, I mean, just backing in.
yeah, so and vice versa, like on the skid steer, you got tires and they're not made to run up and down asphalt road.
Yeah.
I mean, so the guys, the year before last, put, the knobbier tires on the skid steer, and by the end of the year, we had to put a new one on. And that was like $1,200.
So what's one of those tires cost?
So they're driving that thing to every job.
A lot of times,
Or is it a mini? Now they have the backhoe where they can use it sometimes, but if they're in the backyard where they can't get the backhoe in there, mini's their only option. And I don't know if you guys ever drove a mini excavator, but you aren't getting in there in a hurry. You're there for a while.
well, and a lot of times they go clear down to the burn pile.
Yeah.
You know, if they need dirt, they drive the whole thing clear down to the burn pile and then back.
Which, yeah, they could take the backhoe for that, but.
But again, if they had a trailer,
Right.
they could unload it, drop the trailer, and fill a dump truck.
I see the need for the trailer, but financially,
Right.
I think we ought to wait on the trailer and go for the jetter.
Well, one we've had to put a lot of work into. Yeah. Right now it's holding, but I mean,
Anything older we can sell?
Yeah, let's do like that. Yeah, sell 2 pieces of equipment so we can afford this.
yeah.
That we're
I
not
mean,
using.
so that's an option too. We could sell the dump truck, sell something else, use that money to buy
It's a great idea.
$250,000.
it. As is.
So it sounds to me like it's time for a motion.
I just figured out how to word a motion to specify jetter.
We can do he can figure out all the financial part of it.
They have it written out here, well.
Yeah.
We'll have it out.
We don't have to get everything exact on this. We just need the process to purchase the jetter with the current interest rate at a certain amount without the dump trailer. Assuming that's going to be the motion. I'm not making it, obviously. But it doesn't have to be this exact with all of these figures, just the basics. And Andy can do that with the bank, right? As long as we have up to a certain amount.
What is the figure?
The figure for the jetter's
The
cost.
figure for the jetter cost is 40, basically 50,000, 49,775.
So just approve the loan.
Math ain't math. Loan for 55, 734. Trailer was 8,600.
Which one?
Yeah, that
Which
didn't work.
one? 50? Okay,
I'm not good at math.
Yeah, like that ain't gonna work.
okay. So
You're right.
So at the onset, Vintage Bank wanted 10% or 10% down,
Oh.
Oh, there we go.
and they changed that, but I don't think he changed the figure here.
Okay, so this isn't even correct, obviously.
Yeah.
Bankers didn't even get it right. We can't feel bad.
Right.
I do like the 12 months option or the 12-month payments, or monthly payments, whether we do it or not. Just so we're not taking another chunk of money out of it.
That didn't cost us more to do that, right?
Yeah, it's gonna cost.
No,
Are you talking about the middle option?
I was trying to read the fine print on it. What?
3-year, 5-year, or 10-year?
Oh, here you have it broke down. Okay, broken down.
Because all 3 are 12 months, so which,
Well, so 12 month meaning you pay one lump sum every 12 months.
That's all they all are.
Yeah,
So it's just a matter of, do you want to do it?
yeah.
You want to pay 6.2% over 10 years or 5.7 over 3?
Right.
Or the other bank?
5.51 at 5 years or 5.6. That's right. At 7 years.
Yeah. And then remember that, you can pay them off early.
Yeah. Maybe.
So I'll make a motion to purchase the jetter that you have specified. XFIITA 1240 CW jetter. And finance that through Emprise Bank.
We want to specify
Let me specify the term.
we should.
Okay, 5 years.
I bet they're gonna want it in their paperwork.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, let's do the lowest interest rate with the easiest, whatever.
5.51.
The 5-year
Yeah, the
term
five-
at 5.51%.
Can you make that happen, Andy?
I can think of that.
All right. There's a motion. Any second?
second,
Second by Kit. All in favor? Carries 4-0. Okay. We're gonna sell something, get the dump trailer.
Okay.
Moving on, spending money.
Way too much energy.
Like my wife says, I gotta get rid of a pair of shoes before I get another pair.
That's a good idea.
I don't. But I still have one.
Building codes, we went through this, no.
You wanna elaborate any more on the building code?
We talked about zoning code earlier, but,
Oh, we
the
did.
building code that we have adopted are 2006. And, we are looking to update it to 2018, which the county is also looking to update it to. And keeping our two, keeping in line with them would be beneficial for us. If often, if there's a conflict of interest or something, we call the county in to inspect for us. And it would be good to keep us in line with them. So Mr. Ingles has been reviewing it, and so from he asked that we have just a little bit more time to continue reviewing that. So I'll bring that back next month, maybe for the adoption of 2018's building codes,
And we're
Yep.
codes, we were at.
2006. Yes.
Okay,
So
It's 2025.
so a little more time, you guys, all
on that.
right? And then the ordinance on the vacant buildings, that's you too.
Yes, we have recently been reviewing the vacant buildings and realized that residential buildings from time to time become a problem, and many cities have adopted a vacant residential building registration. It's much like the other one. The fees are a little different, they're a little more modest than the other one was, but I was asking hopefully that you would allow us to adopt that to govern vacant residential buildings, which will give us a little more ability to govern those and not allow them to sit as some of them have and become problems in the community.
Like some have, yes. Okay, what ordinance number will that be?
722.
722. You guys had a chance to read over it?
In order to do it.
Huh?
I was found it actually.
Yes.
At the back of the,
It's in your old, this.
It's behind the jetter.
Behind the.
behind the jetter, that's right.
Digger.
High school clean up, so. And the empty old businesses. Other.
Essentially, it's a $25 fee to register your vacant residential building. If you fail to do that, then there's a $50 fine to do that. If it becomes, if it continues and continues year after year after year, then the fees build up. Nothing more than $400 a year, but it builds up. Starts at 100, if it continues on past a 90-day period. And then if it goes past a year, then it goes up to 200. At that point in time, we've had a house that for a year or two or three, we start seeing problems happening, vandalism, kids getting into them. And we've got one right now that would definitely qualify for that we're having problems. So,
Okay,
yes.
I know it doesn't need to be part of the ordinance, but the fire department would be very interested in vacant properties.
Practice.
I mean, but, you know,
Properties. Knowing that they're vacant,
knowing that they're vacant and that we don't have to risk lives on a vacant property.
Right.
I would have those documents showing, I can make that available to you. This is the list of vacant properties we have registered. What we have. But I can do that now too.
Courts, so if we did this, is that gonna affect the courts at all?
Pardon me?
Will it affect the courts at all?
When,
yeah,
if I,
Yeah.
they get cited for.
it will.
Yes, yeah, question.
It will just add to his load,
I mean, is it a big deal if we add some more to the court?
potentially.
The matter. Okay.
Yeah, so that's significantly,
He'll need a loan. He's gonna
Maybe
need a
a
loan.
year, maybe.
significantly. Fine, 1 or 2 a year.
Perfect.
But
So,
We handle it.
so we have been having success in, like we had a house down here that was on the plan to be demoed. And we were ready to pull the trigger on it and have it demoed, and then somebody bought it and they're working on it. They're making progress on it.
Action.
Good.
That's what it requires. Action.
All right.
All right, 722 is the ordinance number. I'll entertain a motion.
Say 722?
2025, 722. Is that what you said?
That's what we said.
Isn't that what you said?
Just
722. I made a mistake of putting 2025 in front of it, but it's just 7.
Okay, well, here we go. I'm just scratching that out. 722. What are you saying?
722.
You'd have to correct that. Unless you can mark.
Are we up to 722?
I know.
Yeah. In 2025.
You meant me.
We got really busy.
We did a lot.
Must have been a lot happened last.
It
We have
does.
100 ordinances later.
It must be for the eternity.
Here we go.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number, correct me if I'm wrong, 2025-722.
722.
722. Just 722.
Just seven.
Correct.
722.
722.
Oh, that's why.
Now it's coming together.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay,
Made that motion.
second.
Second.
Second, by Chris. All in favor?
Oh,
Carries 4-0. Thank
No, it
you.
does not.
no.
Oh,
Does not
oh, you didn't throw it up.
Oh.
Oppose.
oppose.
Okay, one oppose. Still carries. Got it. My name's right here. On the
Shall.
other ones, you have a Z. Okay, resolution for zoning subdivision,
Yes,
please.
zoning subdivision fees are fees that we assess to individuals such as if they want a conditional use or a variance, which requires us to publish it in the newspaper, send out letters to every resident within so many hundred feet of that property. And the fees that we currently have in place were from 1997, which is about $75, and it actually almost costs that just to publish it. It doesn't count for all the printing and the stamps and the mailing and everything else that's involved. And so, after reviewing what our neighbors and other small cities such as ours charge for those type of fees, I have proposed a resolution that would bring us up to 2025 fees for many of these items that we deal with in the zoning department.
Makes sense. This number is,
This is 2025
Okay.
02.
02. So this is the resolution, second one, 2025-02.
I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution number 2025-02.
Second.
So then I fit. All in favor?
And then
Carries 4-0.
I also have a question. You said it was last updated in 1975?
1997, I'm sorry,
Oh,
97.
97.
Because that's when the zoning
I
regulations.
feel like that was.
Did I say, if I said 75, I apologize.
Like a lot of this is a long time ago.
You're up.
Yeah, that was when the zoning regulations were originally written and all of the books that govern these fees were written. And
So probably should have updated them sooner.
it
Yeah.
should have been updated last time ago, yes.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Thank
You
you.
see what it takes to get done, however.
Not that long ago.
Yeah, I think we could probably catch up on some of them.
See any more there?
Yep, we're done with those. All right. Thank you, Lisa. New business. Finding a way.
Are we
New
okay
business.
now?
We have
No, other business,
other business?
other business.
Other new business.
New office hours.
Other new business.
Other,
Okay. Office hours are
Office
changing, are wanting to change.
yeah, so we,
There Friday,
several,
were you?
several small cities,
No? Okay. Oh, then continue on.
Go ahead, Andy.
you ready?
I think so. I think so.
Several small cities around, the state, including El Dorado, are going to, office hours that, basically the staff goes home at noon on Fridays. Still work 40 hours. We're here 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock. We don't take lunch breaks. It gives the staff time to get all the computer updates and imports and all that stuff done that needs to be done, especially Cami, before everybody starts coming in. What we're finding is that we're being affected by online banking just like banks are. It used to be that City Hall was just a thoroughfare when people were coming in to do all their bill paying and everything. Now everything is online. Very few people come in at all to pay their bill. We do have some that drop off through the mail slot and through here. Some do bring their bills in, but on a percentage basis, it's we have 600 homes altogether, maybe 20, 30 come in and well, it actually walk in to the office to pay the bill, maybe 6. We do have quite a few that still stick money in yeah, very few do. But a lot of them are going to paperless billing and automatic payment. I mean, myself included, with the vet clinics on the water here, I just have it automatically done. And then, communication like that, things like that, people call, people send emails, they communicate via Facebook Messenger. So on Friday afternoons, we have very few people come in. City of El Dorado did a study just to substantiate that they had very few people actually come into City Hall or even call. So it gives our staff time to make doctor's appointments.
Well, no doctor's open on Friday afternoon.
That is true.
But anywhere else.
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But
yeah,
I mean, that way they don't have to take off work. So, then we still have coverage, because the guys are still on call, just like after hours, any other time. So.
Cool. Give a little more family time, if nothing else.
Will that increase the overtime on Fridays if they're already gonna have their 40 anyway, so it's just gonna continue to. It's just gonna continue to add to the 40, right? So.
I mean, even if they get called out for
Yeah.
1 or 2, it's probably no different than what they would have got called out for.
Yeah.
Here.
I'm not opposed to it. I'm just saying, just trying to think of all the.
Well, and typically if they get called out, it's after hours.
Yeah.
I mean, and after 5 o'clock, because that's when everybody's home.
Yeah.
And that's when the sewer backs up. Everybody's home.
Sometimes if we have to come in like that, where we've had to work an extra hour or 2, we take off early.
Right.
Yeah.
An afternoon and say, hey, I'm gonna kick out of here for 4 o'clock. I've got my, I worked over yesterday an extra hour or so. We do that sometimes. I do
Sure.
that. Just kind of.
Yeah,
Kimmy does that too.
Yeah.
Which is appreciated, honestly, instead of just riding the hours for sitting. Okay.
So, and on that note, Kimmy is still writing expenses and keeping track of, she stays on top of, anyway, she's trying all the time trying to cut her expenses.
Good.
And our new program, I put us on where we make monthly transfers. I need to make some adjustments to it, but it's really causing us to really scrutinize our spending. And it's like, where's this expense coming from? And so it's tight, and it's stressful at the end of the month, but I think ultimately it's going to help reduce spending further.
Be nice. We need to buy a bucket dump trailer.
We're gonna sell
Something
We're gonna
bigger.
sell
We need a
things.
digger. A quick thing, Mike, even though is not here, he was wanting to have the maintenance men keep track of their hours on water. Just because he could maybe get some sort of emergency grant or fund. That if they kept track of their hours on water, we can calculate those.
Documentation.
Huh?
With documentation.
Yeah, we would need the documentation because
Oh, you mean like a water issue?
Uh-huh.
I was like,
No, I'm sorry. On
On the
water,
water?
issue. Just the water. Just
I'm
all the water. Anything that has pertained to water.
That doesn't mean a boat on the.
I know. No, water issue, the water leakage. So
So actually,
anything that has to do with that, he would like to see some figures so we can determine whether or not that's an emergency sort of situation.
yeah,
Which
absolutely.
we called it that.
So, but we've changed how we're approaching that. In that now, if there's a leak, we find, we fix it. They fix it. Which they had one this week. It wasn't a major thing, but it took, half a day to fix it. But we're not going and looking for water loss now.
Right.
So that cut our time spent on water considerably.
Okay. So back to your hours. Let's get that solved. I butt in with it.
Oh, that's all I had.
What about like?
Oh.
for
Do we need to set these hours? I
Yeah.
feel like we should set these hours.
Sign's already out front.
Set. Set? Okay. As long as y'all can remember this when it's asked to you. We'll be like, I don't know what you're talking about. Where's Andy at?
Well, we're concerned.
Oh,
with
yeah.
You never voted on that?
Yeah, what's guys talking about? Where's
Mayor
Andy?
said it was okay, I don't know.
Yeah. Alrighty then, that'll work. Okay, public comment time. Hello, anyone? Man, you've been here the whole time so quiet. It's like you're in a library. Nice.
Hey, it is working. I got
Nice.
text.
It's like you're used to being in a library, being quiet.
So you got a text and it's
Yeah,
working.
so I text
Excellent.
saying, hey,
All
sitting
right.
next to you, I went, oh, I don't know where all you.
Nobody has anything to say, okay, that's the last time I'm asking.
All right.
One more, motion,
The new member?
huh?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Ooh, second,